Hello everyone. Okay, so in this video we're going to be looking at perfect squares and then solving questions related to perfect squares. So you might be asking yourself, what is a perfect square? So if we just look at our definition here, a perfect square is a polynomial. So a polynomial is a perfect square if it can be written in the form a plus b all to be squared. So for example, that includes the likes of x plus 1 all to be squared. That's a perfect square. No, two is a like 2 squared is a perfect squared, right? Whereas I also have things like x squared plus 6x plus 9 is a perfect square, because when I factorize that, I'll get x plus 3 all to be squared. So these are all things that are considered perfect squares. So there's a little formula when it comes to perfect squares. So this is not in our log tables, and you don't really need to know it per se. It just kind of helps us do quick maths. Just do quick maths, you know what I mean? Sorry, a plus b all to be squared is equal to a squared. So the first term squared plus 2 times the two terms multiplied together plus the last term squared. So this is not in our formula and table book, but it's useful for quick squaring of terms. So let's look at an example right here. I forgot to block it out, so ignore me. Magic. Right. Let's have a look. So I have here, if px squared plus 4x plus 1 is a perfect square, for all values of x, find the value of p. So recall, a plus b all to be squared is equal to a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to be equating coefficients. It's basically an algebraic identity, and I haven't even come across algebraic identities technically at this point yet. So I'm going to let this expression equal that expression. So I have px squared plus 4x plus 1 is going to be equal to a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. Now I'm going to equate some terms here. So I'm going to say this px squared is going to be equal to a squared. So px squared equals a squared. I'm going to have here 4x is going to be equal to my middle term. 4x is equal to 2ab. And then finally, my last term here, 1 is going to be equal to b squared. So let's lay all of my stuff out and see what we can do. So b squared is equal to 1. So let's look at my three equations here. I notice, okay, I can't really do anything with this one yet. This one, I need a and b. I can't really do anything. But look at this one here. B squared is equal to 1. Well, I know what 1's going to be, or b is going to be. B is going to equal to 1, because the square root of 1 is 1. So now I have b. Let me look at question number 2. Well, if I have b, I can definitely solve for a. So 4x is equal to 2a times 1. 4x is equal to 2a. Divide both sides, 4x, let's say, divide both sides by 2. I'm going to have a is equal to 2x. Now I know what a is. Let's look at this one here. I'm trying to find, what's the question asks us to find? Find the value of p. So let's sub this in. Px squared is equal to a squared, which is 2x all to be squared. Px squared is equal to 4x squared. And then p is equal to 4. Right? So p is therefore has to be equal to 4. So that's the type of question you could be asked on a perfect square. So let's have a look at these examples now. So let's look at question A. So if qx squared minus 6x plus 9 is a perfect square trinomial for all values of x, find the value of q. So again, same process. Qx squared minus 6x plus 9 equals a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. Form my little equations here. Qx squared is equal to a squared, so that's my first term squared. This middle term, minus 6x, is going to be equal to the two terms multiplied together times by 2. And then my last term here, 9 is equal to b squared. So again, let's look here. If I'm looking at my 3 equations, I see, well, this is the easiest one to solve right here. 9 is equal to b squared. Ding, ding, ding. B is going to equal 3. B is going to equal 3. And then I'm going to sub it in here. Minus 6x is equal to 2ab. Minus 6x is equal to 2a times 3. It's 2a times 3, so I just wrote that up there, save space. So minus 6x is going to be equal to 2a times 3. Minus 6x is going to be equal to 6a. So in this case, a is going to be equal to minus x. Right? A is equal to minus x. So then let's see what my final term is here. So qx squared is equal to minus x squared. So qx squared is equal to x squared. So therefore, let me just write it all over here. Ding, ding, ding. Q has to equal to 1. And that's my final answer there. Q has to equal to 1. Perfect. Okay, do another one. Determine if the value of k in x squared plus 8x plus k is a perfect square trinomial for all real numbers x. So we need to find out what k is. So again, let's just use our formula. So x squared plus 8x plus k is going to be equal to a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. Equate coefficients. So x squared is equal to a squared. 8x is equal to 3ab. And k is equal to b squared. So again, let's look at something I can solve. Okay, a on its own, a is going to equal to x. Because x squared is equal to a squared, so therefore a is equal to x. Here, I have 8x. I know a is equal to x, so I have 2 times x times b. 8x is going to be equal to 2xb. So 8x is equal to 2xb, divide both sides by 2x. I'm going to have b is equal to 4. Okay, the puzzle's nearly done. What am I looking for? This question is actually requiring me to look for k. So k is just equal to b squared, so I just need to find what b is. So k is going to be equal to 4 squared. K is equal to 16. Gorge! Right? And now let's look at the final example in our notes here. So for what value of m is the expression x squared plus 6x plus m a perfect square trinomial for all values of x? Again, the exact same process once again. It's x squared plus 6x plus m is equal to my perfect square thingy formula, a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. Ding dong. X squared is equal to a squared. Next one, 6x is equal to 2ab. Last formula, m is equal to b squared. So again, reading the question, it is asking me to find the value of m. But if I see here, it's tied to this b squared, but I don't know what b is, so I need to go find what b is. So let's go here. So I have a is going to be equal to x. A is equal to x. Gorge. Right? Because x squared is equal to a squared, square root both sides. Here, 6x is equal to 2 times x times b. 6x is equal to 2xb. Divide both sides by 2x. I'm going to get b is equal to 3. Right? And then m here is going to be m is equal to 3 squared, which is 9. So therefore, my answer is m is equal to 9. That's my final answer there. So hopefully this was some sort of help and kind of made you refresh on your perfect squares. And I'll catch you guys later. Bye.